right. Well. That will call the meeting for May 26th to order. First is request to appoint a chair, vice chair and secretary. Any nomination?
I nominate Justin Fox to be chair.
And I nominate Brian Reynolds.
Wow.
Second that one.
Going to the back.
You've done
such a good job last 10 years. Keep it
going there, President. We got a second for Brian Reynolds,
You got a third?
a third.
Yeah.
Do we need to take this to a vote?
Does he accept?
No.
Then we do need to take it to a vote.
Oh, no.
He doesn't accept.
Oh, no.
It's something new in there.
Yeah.
Does Justin accept?
I don't wanna do that tonight.
Oh.
We're not gonna do anything at it.
Full strong.
Had a long day, Garrett.
Did you crash that train coming down the track?
I think you got
Railroad, that train coming down.
Yeah, you just did, you got rolled for it.
show of hands, or do we want to vote for Brian?
I thought you did.
Oh, yeah, no, he accepted.
Oh.
We're gonna, he was like, thank you.
He loves the attention. Mayor for the ministry for the vote for the record.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes. As a person, but.
All right, we need a vice.
Okay, vice chair, who wants to be vice chair?
No more.
Oh, it's you, thank you.
All right, we need a vice chair to have a nomination.
I nominate Joe Burchard.
Second.
I'm good.
You don't have to do it.
Yes.
All right.
You got it,
You accept.
you got it.
This is the form. You have a nomination and a second, or any nominations? That said, all those in favor of Pope as the vice chair? Aye. Any opposed? As the vice chair, nomination for secretary for the General Budget Committee.
I nominate Dean Chris. I have no idea why you would want me to do that. Because you're gonna do such a good job.
You don't have to do it.
You don't have to do that.
So,
I was thinking to myself that if I'm supposed to take notes and stuff, you don't want that.
Name only.
Okay,
No, it's all by name only, it's
Whatever.
just a formality.
okay.
All right, B has been nominated. Any other nominations? Hearing none, was there a second on Dean, did we get
That's what I was just wondering.
Second.
You're a second.
Chuck did it.
Justin seconded?
It's on there.
Thanks, dude.
It's on there.
I got you back. Whatever.
All right, moved and seconded, all those in favor of being as the secretary, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Done. Next up is the minutes. So we request to approve the minutes from May 27th, 2025. Here.
I move to approve the budget committee meeting for May 27th, 2025.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. We can have a copy of it.
Yeah, they should be in your packet.
It's in the note.
You read it. You just read it.
Okay, moved and seconded, all those in favor of approving the budget minutes from 2025. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Public hearing, do I need to read something about the public hearing?
Aaron, you have the number.
Yep.
Okay.
How about?
I was taking the night off, then that's what the show.
Yeah. Election voting and everything.
Breaking argument pizza. Let's see here, we got public hearing. The purpose of this hearing is to provide the public with an opportunity to submit testimony concerning. This case, the state revenue sharing. Okay. We'll begin the order of business staff reports, followed by public testimony. When conducting this hearing.
Oh.
Please start report first.
This is the state revenue sharing that we have every single year. We have to point in our budget where we're getting it. So you'll see it on page 1 where it says the revenue, and I have in parentheses, that's our state revenue sharing. So it shows it coming in, and then I have it going out every year in council stipend and our contractual IT services. It goes out a portion of it anyway. We only get 60,000, so. It's just a lot.
I'm gonna decide that's population size.
That one is actually one that we have to trend every year. They don't give it to us like they give all the other ones. So it's just, you know, we feel like we got this last year and where we think we're gonna be sitting this next year.
60,000. Where's it at?
The first page, 60,000 is under the general fund revenues where it comes in.
Oh.
And then we pay it out on page 5 and on page 2, I believe. We see the count of stipends on page 2.
And then that fluctuates how?
You trend it every year, so we take what we get for like the last 3 years and then kind of trend it out on what we think we're gonna get.
Oh, I see, and then it could come in the whole.
It could. I always, with the general fund, because it's so tight, I tend to spend on the lighter side next year.
Okay. That's it. All right. Any person may. Any interest person may present testimony for or against. Right?
Correct.
Have anybody that is wanting to speak, I'll recognize you. See and hearing none. And I will close the public testimony. Oh, well, you again.
Good job. I think we broke with a hammer. Not sure. I was afraid to do it.
Oh, you, sorry. Don't run my desk, I'm doing a break it. Okay, next up is new business, budget message.
Can I just tell you that I feel much more comfortable about this budget message than I did a year ago when I presented it, having been on the job for like a week and a half. And so, I, with the help of Jamie and staff, while our future outlook is still the same, right? We've talked about it, our expenditures and revenues just aren't matching up. Part of it's the economy, part of it's just the way that the state of Oregon does this financing and funding for cities. It's very, very difficult and costs keep going up and we're not seeing more and more revenue. And that's the same message from last year, but a couple of things that we're really proud of. One, we were able to get the $4 million earmark last year for the water line project, which is actively under construction. That is a huge relief and makes phase 1 of that project completely funded with no taxpayer money or local taxpayer. We are continuing to pursue all grant opportunities and everything like that. But essentially, we're looking at our core service levels and our service levels, thankfully, the budget came out this year that we were able to maintain our current status. So we don't have to lay anybody off. We don't have to fire anybody. We're really not hiring anybody, with one exception, that we'll get to in just a minute. We appreciate the council for the stabilizing of the utility rates and recognize that we'll be going, preparing for a general obligation bond next year, as part of this budget. Or technically after this budget, but we're using money in this budget to go after the general obligation bond. We're grateful that we're able to complete our collective bargaining agreement with the police. And while that will come up again sooner than we want. As time just flies. We're grateful for our police department and the service they provide, even though they remain shorthanded. Everything else is basically in there, but there's not too much change between this year and last year. But I think with the continued sustained leadership that we have and the opportunities that we're looking for, I think we're in a really good place compared to other cities and that I see and talk to around the state as part of my active duties. So you can read the full message. I don't want to read all 5 pages of it to you, but those are the highlights and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to have presented that to you.
Okay, thank you much. Okay, let's take a look at 2026-2027 fund overview.
Do you guys wanna do a page for page?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So starting on page one, general fund revenues.
Any question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I noticed on licenses, we're only about 60% of the budget. Is that worth moving or is there a chance that that can get to the fast percentage?
I like to keep it there just in case.
Great.
I mean, if we don't get it, we don't get it, but. There are chances, I mean, dog licenses have been a lot better this year than they were last year, because we haven't had control over that, so I actually see that number a little better this year.
Only the question I had on that page was school resource officer reimbursement, what percentage of his salary is that?
It's a majority for the 9 months that he works at the school. And then flops for the 3 months that he does.
So they pay the majority of the school years.
Yes.
Okay, that's just how.
How much longer in that grant? Didn't it just get renewed again?
Yes, it's an every 2 year.
Okay. Any other questions on page one? Anything you feel or highlight?
The only thing that will highlight on here is just that we've got a couple of new franchise fees, licensees that are looking to come in. So we're in beginning a negotiations and application process with them. And then we are also looking, as we've talked about with the last meeting. We may do a supplemental budget next year as we finalize parking and whether we start leasing parking spaces, more parking spaces downtown. We already have the line item for that. That is for those leases that we have for North Coast Home Care. And I think there might be a couple others that we have, but the majority of the North Coast Home Care. But as we are evaluating the parking situation downtown, we may come back with a supplemental to amend that as we get more income from leasing parking spaces.
The mayor road taxes, that's all just averaged as well.
The taxes, it's kind of where we're sitting right now this year with a little bit of a percent increase, and not much,
Personally, I'd love to see that number go down, but
right?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
any other questions on page one? Okay. Take a look at page two, expenditures.
Because of how tight the general fund is, I pretty much kept the majority of everything the same as we did last year.
The special project education 1,300 would mean, did we use that, was that for the Douglas thing?
We did use some of that for Doug's,
I noticed where would anything else go to it, since we don't do the beautification?
right? No, that was his thing.
The 1,300 was in there.
Well, it was adopted, and then we actually spent 24.5 working on it.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. And then, have we spent it in 25, 26?
No. Look. Maybe financial, I didn't think, not this year, but
I'm just saying it's thoughtful, but I'm interested in trying to get the beautification funds back.
that's a great idea.
I don't know that
We've never done it, anytime.
I don't know that we awarded any beautifications last year.
We don't want any 5 years.
Right, and that also is used for,
It's been 5, I've never done it in my time.
we used $4.40.
I just think we're just raising everybody's water bill, right? It would be okay if we all nominate somebody every month to get a beautification award, even if it's just for their just tremendous every month or their house or something. No, we got that money there, we need to use it.
We have a winner in here.
Yeah.
A few years ago.
Right. I just think it's good that you got. I think it's good. But anyway, that's not necessarily.
Right. All right. Questions? Page three.
Page 3 is pretty low key. Not much change in materials and services. Payroll went up a little bit just because insurance took a hike this year. Related to all the departments.
Insurance, insurance looks like it's down, it's like.
Well,
There's no
it's
figure,
up,
so.
but it's down at the same time, so we have. It looks like, we have less employees that are getting benefits, like we have a part-time employee in there now that doesn't pay benefits, And we triggered it down to like what each person is actually doing. We used to just figure it out everybody on a family, but now we took it and actually evaluated each person and hopefully they don't change in the next year.
So just to, if I could restate that just a little bit, costs per person have gone way up. But we have fewer people that we're insuring and doing that.
It went up 14%.
Who's your carrier?
Yes,
Are we gonna be, have our PERS rate raised or something?
it goes up on odd years, so last year it went up and it'll go up again in 27. So
Next, isn't next year kind of, it's like a big increase?
it is.
Yeah.
Mhm, that's what I've heard, to the great, yeah.
So I know that the school districts are. They're starting to hedge as much as they can on that.
Mhm, yeah. So it's something more.
The line that is conferences and promotional, is that the same fund? That we call state conference?
You guys
Is
have
taken
one,
out of?
you
No.
no,
No, this is just for,
this is just the admin fund,
Just admin,
you guys
yeah.
have it on your site as well.
okay.
Yeah.
So after that, for the council was tight, and if one more person were done, would have worked that much.
Mhm,
I feel, that's weird.
mhm.
Yeah, that's the way.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions on page 3?
By the way, Mr. Chair, the conference, I believe, will be in Salem this year, and they'll be opening soon for registrations, so.
When is that? I think they used to do it in October, it's early October, but.
Yeah, it's probably in October.
Sometime.
All right, page 4.
For certifications, that was previously 35,000 for the 25-26 fiscal year, now it's 0.
Yes, so their new contract, they no longer make certification pay, it's rolled into their salary. Oh, yeah.
So obviously personnel went down, but what did we go down on personnel? Like what, last year's budget 960.
We're down an officer, so we couldn't budget for another officer this year. So one officer is actually, by the time you pay taxes and first level, it's 150,000.
Okay.
So we couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah, I understand, yeah.
Everything else I kind of just got the same. I mean, we're all kind of materials and services, we're all just gonna have to really watch everything this year.
So if trying to understand, so if an officer, everything, I mean, salary wise, at 150, probably 90. That's not, what's not our salary.
Yeah,
I mean, so that would take us down to, off of last year's budget. Would take us down to 870,000. So basically, well, to equate to this year, our budget's going up. At 8-9%, so that, is that what they're bargaining?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a little bit of different shift of salaries that had a lot to do with, like, they moved up if they've been here for a certain amount of years, and so
Sure.
it kind of, just kind of changed a lot of it.
Okay.
Hey, any further questions from page 4? Moving on to page 5. Yeah, the city, general city facilities.
So insurance went down about $20,000 just because we no longer have like the transportation building and we no longer have the child care center. So that was able to drop some money there, so that would be a little bit of savings there, that's why I got that one down a little bit, other than that, pretty much everything stayed the same in this department too.
You mentioned childcare center, what were we paying or doing for them, we could talk?
Well, they were kind of expensive because they're in a flood zone, so we had to play like the flood zone insurance on top of regular insurance. That was gonna pay.
Yeah, went in there one time and do 96 for it. added up and I need some.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad, but.
Okay. Any further questions on page 5? Moving on to page 6.
All right, the transient room tax and parks fund, the revenue side and the personnel side, we do have some grants that Adam is going out for this year, so you'll see a lot of in and outs, and I put that by there, like Good Speed Park, restrooms is a new addition this year, playground equipment. They're in and outs, so they're not gonna cost the city anything, just time, and he's managing them, if we get them.
But that's it, if we get the funds behind, okay.
We're pretty high up there, he said those ones are, cause I told him I'm not putting them there unless he's like, we're really close, and he said these are really good,
Like
so,
the top one, go.
yeah,
Good.
yeah. Yeah, so these ones are good, those, you'll see that in the capital side too, but
The drop in the hotel tax is just that because of the red Applewood closing.
I don't know, it just seems like it's kind of trending lower right now too, I don't know.
So it's trending, I mean, that 375 would be. That's trending higher than 23, 24, 25.
Yeah,
So this budget, it's probably not gonna trend down. But we haven't hit 400,000. For, I mean, we've always budgeted 400, we've always hit 350.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 375, I don't think it's gonna trend down on fuel prices. Last time fuel prices did this, we saw higher. So
Are we gonna hit the one this year?
the biggest shift, nice shift. Is somewhat is doing better than used to, but also Western Royal years ago converted a lot of its rooms to 30-day rooms, which they don't pay tax on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a hit. I mean, Red Apples, there's not many rooms there, so it's, but.
Just for my own curiosity. How much do we make from food carts compared to 40,000 property income?
that's their lease payments,
Oh, it's
so,
like,
yeah, it's just the same, it's their yearly,
that's what that is, just food cart, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
It's good.
I need some more of those.
Yeah. It's good.
What goes into miscellaneous fees?
Extra stuff that we really don't have an exact line item for, so if something's sold for one of the parks at a surplus or something, we can put it in there. If we get some extra money, like a motel or hotel doesn't pay on time and we get some late fees, it can go there.
Do we have one building, two buildings?
We just have the one big one now, I believe,
We must be 100 something.
cause it used to be like forever ago, like 3,000 and then it goes
Yeah.
over just the one,
They just a monthly charge.
once a year,
Once a year.
yeah, every July.
So the same people use it.
Okay, any other questions on page 6? Page 7.
Page 7, just to balance the budget, I kind of just moved some stuff around, some things went up, obviously, like the farmer's market and stuff, that triggers with whatever we get in for revenue for, the TRT tax. And then your capital is gonna show Adam's grants he's going after the other side of them.
Do we have a timeline when we know about those grants?
I told him we can't start touching anything until July 1st,
I
so
mean, it's not, if we got.
it sounded like 90% yes, when he was talking to me, so that was it. The bathrooms are a must, I mean, you definitely do some of that'd be cool.
That's cool.
One of the things that you want to point out on this is the business registration surcharges for CRA. Nothing has changed on that. We haven't changed fees or anything on business licenses or anything, so.
Any further questions on page 7?
What goes into the council priority spots for 70,000?
So that is council priorities, it's like our Christmas program, our public servants, like thing we do out there. Movie nights sometimes, if we go over the expenditure on movie nights, because we can kind of hit it for all of those kind of things, our flower baskets, miscellaneous things that we can do for the city.
All right, page 8. Streets and storm.
So this one, I think we do have a couple grants in this one as well this coming year, the ODOT Safe Routes, I think that's pretty much a done deal with that one, is the way he made it sound, but we'll get more details once the first year comes out. That's a $200,000 grant, so you'll see little bit of chunks like raising the revenue, but you also see going out in the capital. Everything else is. He does have a new employee, or not a new employee, but we do have an added employee in his department, so that jumped his personnel a little bit, but other than that. It's pretty relatively close to last year.
What does he say schools? For,
That's for sidewalks, safe routes to schools.
where,
I think this one that he's looking at is in go back to preschool, because they did the one at the high school last time. Is the one.
And then, so this, personnel total is adding one staff, what's that, what staff is that for?
What's that?
What staff is that, what is that position?
John, it's their person
Oh.
that does all
What
the,
was he funded out of?
he was originally hired to the water department.
Oh.
So we moved him to where he actually kind of belongs.
Okay,
So we didn't hire any person.
We just moved,
Moved from one part.
redone up some things.
all right, any other questions on page 8? Page 9, salaries.
This one you'll see in the capital where the ODOT safe routes is in there for the $200,000. We have the road improvements at 200,000. We have carried over the bike. Pedestrian facilities that we're required to do. Everything else is pretty much the same. They did add a utility trailer that they're wanting to purchase this year for moving their little excavator and their mower to the parks and stuff.
It's just one new trade.
Yeah. No, just a trailer. We have to keep like history from the past that they did a mower, so. Everything else looks good.
what's a Fred Meyer drainage ditch?
That's, John, can you explain that? 'Cause that's something we have to do every year.
Yeah, so basically, I got to, well, where Russell River Route dead ends, then up there, Myers back in there was floods apparently. So part of the reason for that flooding is doing the drainage ditch on very far, extended that. That is, needs to be cleared out. And we're working with the part of the state land runs Army Corps, committee, like phase 1. We still got quite a way to go down through there, to hopefully get to the point where we don't have that massive surge.
Is that similar to like what they do at Hadley Road on the, one by farm, where they clear out, have to clear out that?
Yeah, like what your president, uncle been doing a lot of that here, to do something similar there,
So eventually that fee should go away.
It should, it's complete.
Once we get, how many more years for that to end? Because we were just talking about federal permits and everything else, this could be a long one.
Yeah, so permits do take a while, the $25,000 is right now only the placeholder, and anything else is quite a bit more expensive, to get that work done, we're looking probably $1,500-$200,000 to get through done, so. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
so.
Mr. Chairman, a question on the homeless cleanup line item. Is that like specific sites or is it citywide? Those couple words my way.
It's citywide. Last year it was mostly used, the kind of Portland, where we cleaned up, we took 30 dump truck loads, 30, something out of that, Sean. And so there was a lot of trash and stuff back there, and it went over quite a bit, but, that's what that is for, is when we do a mass cleanup, hopefully, we've had enough. We've done the major cleanups now, that it's more maintenance, and we don't let it get to that point again. But just in case, we like to keep some money there for.
Thank you.
Where it says rehab, the next is up, the next is sewage on, or in,
Yeah, there's a-
in Oak Park, Slough Park there.
Yeah, so quite a bit is observational effects and trash and vandalizing. And so that's something that we're trying to get some seed money for back in there to try and address it. The big question may be something much circulated around being one key folks. That's a big discussion, but either way, it's gonna take some money,
Their liability right now,
yes,
insurance wise.
potentially.
Potentially. I haven't.
All right, anything else on page 9? Page 10, please.
Okay, water funds, we didn't do an increase this year, because the water revenue is same as last year. Which can give or take go up or down. Just by what is sold, other than that, besides our beginning fund balance, which is our reserve account, which you'll see in the capital. Because we don't obviously use it, it just keeps making our beginning fund balance really large every year. Hopefully we can just keep that occupied until this project starts. There's not too many changes in that one either.
Any questions? Seeing none, page 11.
All right, we have materials and services, capital outlay, and our debt service. I was able to balance this one with the 10% ending fund balance. Was able to move the reserve replacement to 3.6. Which was better than last year. We have our matching grant fund still in there for the $800,000 for the money. From Gustavo, I think everything else is pretty
You
self-explanatory.
expected more in a small tools radio purchase. Oh,
Mm-hmm. What are you looking at?
about halfway down to services. It was good to see it last,
John,
Excuse me, what's that?
the small tooling radio repair and purchase, we bumped to 25,000 from 15,000.
The small tools.
Radio repair purchase, yeah.
Top section, have go there.
So we went from 15 to
25.
25, yeah. So part of what's happening is the water meter system. We're in the process of trying to make that final curve. They're the radio out, so we don't have to have same guys out reading water meters and looking at radio. There is the line item will cover the bulk of that. Some of that is tied in and just tying up the loose ends on that. So we are bumping up tree things in anticipation of bumping that to a degree. Just trying to finish that.
You expect that to be a 1 year bump up and back to 15-ish, you know, you'd like to see.
You know, it depends. Well, I can't give you solid answer.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I appreciate this.
Well, in actual, in 24-25, they spent almost 18,000 in it, so it might be trending higher this year too, to where we balanced it up a little bit.
I just have a question because I'm new. So where did the, is user fees where we had the 35% increase?
That's in sewer, we're still in water right now,
Oh.
so next page will be on sewer,
I
you'll
thought,
see that, yep.
my bad.
No worries.
I'm not in front of you.
Is the Vector truck? What's the means of,
For the purchase of it,
is that a purchase?
it's gonna be a purchase, yeah, it's gonna be under that. They're getting rid of the other two Vector trucks because they have been breaking down nonstop. It's very expensive to fix them, and so they're actually gonna get it and share it with the sewer department.
Yeah, so right now the sewer one is broke down, so I told him to not put one more time, that it's a little piece of junk, so it's reliable. The other one we do have is a 1985, I've already rebuilt the water pump on it, rebuilt the back border on it. And it's still breaking down, so it's just getting something else, ridiculous. Get rid of 2 junkers, buy 1 new one. So we're gonna have to share it in all 3 divisions, which is fine. I think that's the best plan for a product, but I really need a good, solid, reliable back truck.
Can you explain what a Vector truck is?
Yeah, it's that big truck that we use to either pull down surcharge manholes, clean jet rod, storm or sewer lines, hydro excavate, and we go and do water line repairs, or fire hydrant installations. It's kind of your do everything vehicle for removing, dewatering, and excavating without damaging utilities. It's fast, it's easy. That's the #1 vehicle goes off really good emergencies. Right now, we got crap.
How long have we had the ones we have?
Well, yeah, 10, 15 years. Yeah. So
What's your timeline for the new purchase?
if we can pass this. And if it's still available, I might be able to get it after July. If not, if it's sold, I'll pay for them to build it. It's been like 3-6 months. Yeah.
Any further questions on page 11?
And then the financing, I'm just curious what other vehicle.
They're gonna purchase another water vehicle, for their fleet and surplus off, they're breaking down left and right, so they're gonna surplus off another couple, month.
Yeah, I'm slowly trying to get rid of all the 2008s we're running. I mean, I just. You send people out there, run samples to school, break down, took back in, so it's just. Get the point to it. I need at least one good solid vehicle in each division. And then eventually we will try to get some sort of fleet program. We don't run these things in the ground for 10 or 15 years. So that's the plan. So if I can do that, then I want one good solid vehicle in each division, the rest we just guarantee. One of them just had to put a transmission in one of our vehicles last week. That was over $8,000. I had another one at computer fried, died at the intersection. That one a couple of grand, so it's just nickel and dime that's run as a piece of crap vehicles, So.
Any other questions? Page 5.
Very considerable, being able to see where 35% increase under user fees.
And we're underneath the piece.
Yep.
So I'm seeing in here an $800,000 increase.
Mm-hmm.
So either I figured it wrong or I'm confused. You guys gave us a sheet
Mm-hmm.
that showed the 35% increase.
Mhm.
So because I didn't have anything better to do, I actually sat down and ran the numbers across. And I came up with a figure of 167,000
So,
extra and a total of 2 million-ish. So,
no,
so where am I messed up?
so what I took to get that calculation is I took exactly where we're sitting right now and how much we're gonna make at the end of the year. So like, if you look at your financials where we're sitting, I took that and did it times 35% on what we're gonna get. So like right now, we're at our year to date, so I budgeted 3.2, we're at 2.5 right now. So, and this is through April. So once we get to that amount, yes, and then I took that down 35% to get. I guess for that,
So just out of curiosity, what did that sheet mean that I got?
I don't know, I did do that.
It had the user fee for this year,
Uh-huh,
next year, and how many people were at that rate.
yeah.
So I just ran the numbers and did the, the difference, and then I made a total, and it came to 160 something a
Yeah.
month.
Yeah,
And 2 million in a year, if I calculated that correctly, so did I? I'm just curious, where did that go?
I will go on a dip, math is not my best subject, so.
Yeah.
If I screwed up some of the math there, what we were trying to do is take a monthly and just
Right.
do it by 34% or 35%.
Yeah.
But, we had one of those that was at 30 and one at 40, and then we brought it back at 35, so between. the
Well, this
three-
was I'm not arguing, I'm just saying, in the packet, you gave us,
Yeah,
and like I said, that night I had nothing better to do, and I sat down on the calculator, just ran it, and came up with that figure, I thought.
and I will.
So I was hoping we have 2 million or 1.9 in the bank.
And a
from
lot
that.
of the numbers that he ran it on a residential. You have a lot of businesses, you have some businesses that don't even pay hardly anything on sewer because they don't, their rate is consumed or is calculated on how much water they use.
Yeah.
So their bill might be nothing, so you have to take that into account too.
Just,
So that's why I took what we have this year,
I see.
kind of to get a clear number from the numbers.
So we're looking at an $800,000 increase, not.
That's what I'm seeing.
So if we figured out with 3.2 though. If we figured out with 3.2, we would, that line with 35% increase should be 4.3.
We're not gonna hit 3.2, so last year when we budgeted the
Okay.
budget. Remember, it was, Kevin put it in there as we were gonna get 18% on this, we never did a raise last year on sewer, so they never got the raise that was in our budget last year.
Right, so the 4,018,000
Mhm.
is around 298, 2,977,000,000. Increased by 30%, which gives us a differential of around $1 million. For $1.05 million of increase. So I guess where my, then I look back on the line that we've had for system improvements, and it's $745,000. So in reality, we're about, there should be over $1 million.
There is, the whole capital, so the $200,000 is part of it, $745,000, the solids handling, that is capital. that's not repairs, anything that's capital, that's hitting that, so that right there is $945,000.
Right, but I go, so my understanding of my motion. And what we talked about was that the 35% increase. That 35% increase would go to capital improvements. So. What we're doing here, I don't believe is in the spirit of that motion, it's, we're taking fund expenses that were currently budgeted. And. Absorbing them for that increase to get to that like 35% going to system improvements. So essentially, we're. Not like. Not all, I mean. That does not feel like it was what the motion was. I mean, if we already had 200,000 budgeted last year. Or solids handling a $200,000 budget this year, that was already in the budget. Going back and saying, okay, we're gonna replace that sewer fund money with new money. At the city.
And that's actually what I was getting at, is I remember very strongly wording my concerns. About this very thing when we were deciding on the 35%. And I was assured that we would be putting that aside. And that it would go towards the new project. And that's why I did the $2 million, so I was wrong, it's $1 million. But even so, that's why I was expecting somewhere here to have a line item of $1 million or so, or whatever the amount is set aside. So that goes towards the 40 million plus project that's hanging over our heads, and that's what I was assuming. That's what I asked for.
Well,
Now, and I also went back and read his Justin's. Motion, and that's exactly what it said, and then it was in the paperwork. Last week that it was in there, that was exactly what we're gonna do, so I'm kind of wondering where that is in here.
well, it's.
Where's that savings account, so to speak?
It's the full capital. You can guys, as a committee, you guys can move money around in the capital if you want it all to go into the system improvements. You're probably not gonna make the sewer department very happy, but you can do that. It's your choice. This is something that we put together with the sewer department on their needs, you know, I mean, he's the one that has to run the plant.
Right.
So, but it's your choice. This isn't his money, it's not. This is the city's money. Move it if you wanna move it.
$1 million,
That's what
seems like a lot.
Said.
A
What's
lot.
that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I
That's
don't,
what I said.
I think that, I mean, the part that's gonna be a whole up here is that. Like, I'm gonna recommend we move it, that it all goes in the system improvements line, because that's what the motion is. Now, the question will be, is. That Kenny will have to go back to the drawing board on. Where, if or how. To do the other projects, I don't know, I'm not personally.
It's gonna take years before he has enough money, and it's gonna take a bond before he has enough money to do anything that needs to get done. So, you guys have the option right now, if you wanna see it there, that's fine. It can also go as a total under capital, it doesn't matter, it's still $2 million, if you want it in one line item, move it in one line item.
Good question.
And I'm not part of the committee, but can you interject, the facilities plan that Consor presented. And that huge number and the increase that they recommended was, it all included things. Such as everything on these lines as part of the huge repairs, so it was all lined out in that, but again, I don't do the budget and I don't look at this stuff, but there was within that plan, if you look at that. In your packet.
But if we didn't pass the 35% increase, we have the $300,000. We have $200,000 in solids handling. Based on last year's, or maybe 100, because.
Honestly, his budget would have 0 in capital without that 35%.
So
He's
what would-
failing. We're gonna have to do a supplement budget, like it's not doing well.
So what would solids handling look like? Since I can't. then-
Solids handling, he doesn't always hit it, but that's when like things go out. Sean, you wanna explain a little bit more on the solids handling?
Yeah, and if I may just maybe back it up a little bit too, is, you know. The 35% increase, that's That's awesome. I applaud you guys for doing that. That is something that is a real vital need for a sewer system that's flat-rooted. I would encourage you to not so locked down with that 35% just being capital repairs. I think it primarily good. That's what we're with a lot of money. But I think we want to allow ourselves a little bit of flexibility because King is constantly going slow on line items. We had to pump some fuel into the water fund this year to keep on life support. So I think we need to keep some funds available until his budget. When whenever starts becoming somewhat viable. It'd be nice to hear happening here tonight, to get hear some input, but I encourage you to keep some flexibility in there. Against final students, you guys, but that would make life a lot easier for him from the operated very broken down system with concrete money. Back to the solids. The solids are kind of a wild card right now. We get all the common use. There's talk that common use may not start at 70 solids. So then we'll have to look at the land application. That like quadruples the cost. Will that happen this year? I don't know. It's being talked about. We'll cross that bridge if we're going to come to it, but we do need to be prepared for that too. The bottom line is everything the sewage just goes up. It's up and as far as treatment and disposal of this stuff. So, our plan to the question, but it do that, and that's all.
Yeah, here it's all something is, I mean, the reality is that we have to do it. How is solids handling capital?
Where we have solid camera equipment.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that we're trying to get for screw press, to kind of piecemeal all the components. And that's one of the strategies we're trying to do is that the provider can drive solids out. Cheaper it is to haul, and cheaper it is to dispose, it's paper made. So anything we can do to try, which you're solid in with it, then that has that cost of what it is. It also opens up doors for where you can apply it. If it's dry, then it opens up a lot more doors for grant application. Whereas if it's wet or layer consistency, a lot of places will not really accept it.
If I could ask it, so I recognize I'm a little ignorant, and I always want to make sure that I'm not sounding completely that way, but if you could put a percentage on, say again, I think we said approximately $1 million extra is gonna be in this, are we showing 100 or $1 million worth of capital improvements on this side?
Yes.
Is that what we're saying? So you said, maybe a little more flexibility. What I'm hearing is we just want to throw it in there and we can spend it for what I'm not saying anybody's being irresponsible, but I don't know. Boy, it just feels like, oh, there it goes. And I would like to, I guess I would say, if there was getting, and I'm not trying to be combative, this all kind of went backwards from the way that I had anticipated it when we were having a conversation 3 or 4 weeks ago. And again, I take it that I may not understand. I run a household, I know stuff happens, all of a sudden money's allocated, you gotta put it over here, you don't buy the new car, because you gotta do something else. And so I see how that works, and I understand the sewer system's messed up. That's why we had that. And why we're gonna get a bond and all that. So in my simplicity, I'm asking, so. And maybe you don't want to answer this question, that's okay if you don't, but if we're gonna guard some of it for future use, and you said be more flexible, what would you suggest, or would you rather not? I don't know, like 50% of it, so we end up with $500,000 set aside for whatever might take place the year after. Or do you get where I'm going? I'm asking, if you're saying be flexible, how far should we go in that? And I'm, again, not trying to be combative, just seriously surprised by this being the way that it's being done, so.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Dave, and that's a totally reasonable question, and as a council member, it is your duty, responsibility, so I totally respect and appreciate where you come from. So the thought, or maybe an idea, you asked my idea, is let's put it in a capital line item, but to adjust for, like, when we have these unexpected line breaks that are just killing us, the flexibility to where the Jim says, hey, we have to amend the budget, and if we're flat broke in certain areas, I see having that flexibility with James, because I need to amend the budget and zero these line items to pull some out of there to just keep this alive. Because in reality, how I see that is that 35%, is really what's gonna take care of these emergency repairs. That just zero this out, these big capital projects, we're gonna have to chase the grants. It's
Yeah.
really hard to fund those things.
I would,
So,
Let me go to the mayor first.
well, I looked it up here and section 3 for capital improvement fund 4, revenue, this is what it says on what we did. And signed, revenue generated from the rate adjustment shall be placed in a dedicated capital improvement fund within the sewer enterprise fund. And used for sewer capital improvements.
so,
So it should be in its own line item.
I think moving it back, here's what I'm finish. I think that. I hear what you're saying, that solids handling and the screw press building will go, is a capital improvement. And I don't actually disagree with that, I'm over here kind of thinking through that. I think that for me, I'm trying to look forward at. Optics and bond, and I think it's important, and I think that. Those. Sometimes that flexibility that you're talking about is advantageous. If we budget $200,000 in solids handling and we'll use 100,000 sitting there. If we put it all into system improvements and you have to spend $100,000, that $100,000 can still go to the capital improvements, and so. I think that zeroing out the lines and putting it all in the system improvement fund and then taking care of the capital out of that. Still achieves really the goal for me of putting it in that line. I think that, again. After looking at the sewer budget, I think that really if we didn't allow for that. The screw press building would be on hold. And if we're gonna put things like that on hold, then we can't do that project and the new project, and so. I'm not necessarily opposed to the projects, I think I'm more concerned, I want. Everything to be in the systems improvement line, which will total that 35%, and then. Sewer department has the flexibility to use that for capital improvements, that's. I want that in the line, I think that was a very important piece of what I presented to the council at that time. Because I think that we're gonna have to answer for where did that money go? And if. Right now, it's all sitting in capital, I mean, this is good, but if it's not clear. We can't show there's 3 million, here's what we calculated on, here was the increase, and here's the total $1.050 million. Having one item, and another item would be very important. And I'm asking us to do that for the sake of passing a bond in the future.
So I have a question for Sean. What is there a dedicated counter that right now is just used for emergency repairs, and if so, where does that fall, or where does it come out of?
George. I don't think we have to, I don't think we have.
We don't, we've been hitting the high school line item a lot for the emergency repairs this year.
Hitting the what?
High school water line, or sorry, the high school, is there a lateral program, power connections and high school line, which we already did part of it, they didn't finish the full project this year, but that's where a lot of the emergency repairs took that money.
From operational standpoint, in my perspective, when we look at capital outlay, I understand where your council's coming from, and I will own if we didn't meet what the expectations are, we can obviously move some things around. One of the things that was in my head was things were going, the majority were going into the system improvements line item, which is there. But some of these other projects, to me, are system improvements that are part of that, which is what that increase was for. To me, it's being a little bit more transparent if we say, these are projects that we are gonna finish this year or work on this year with that money, so we can show that the money is being put to good use.
And honestly, that's all I care about. When a rash comes, which is gonna happen somewhere, I know I'm gonna start hearing from people in my neighborhood about the 5th of July. They have that first bill, they're gonna go, what? Yeah, and then, so that will be exactly what I'm talking about. I wanna be able to say, look, here's what we're doing. And you can look it up on the budget, that we have this extra $1 million we're gonna get this year, 1.5 or whatever, 105 or whatever. That money's gonna be set aside and it will only be used to improve the sewer system, which is a precursor to what we're gonna do when we get a bond.
Yep.
But we have to be able to say that in a way that's honest
Mhm.
and transparent. So that's why I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I didn't wanna be able to say the neighbor.
Yeah.
Who comes across the street, goes, did you see this? I'm like, yeah, I passed that, I did. So I want to be able to tell them exactly what's happening with that money and actually have it be where they could verify if they want to.
Yeah.
I think we're all on the same page there, it's just that, I think by the resolution passed, we need to dedicate it to that same line item. And then the flexibility exists to pull it out. I don't think that's gonna be a big deal if we zero out the other lines.
We can't zero out the grant business Oregon,
Well,
that
no.
has to say there.
No.
The same, but we can take the 200,000 and put it in the 745,000 line if we want.
Well, both of the 200, right, and 100,000?
Well, then we're not gonna be able to get a grant, that's our match for that grant.
Oh, that's the match,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, we can zero it out and not do
and
it.
it has to show in the budget.
It
It
does,
does.
yeah.
Okay, that's fine, let's be.
Okay, well, that,
So
that's
again,
understandable.
I think I think the minutes should reflect that, sorry. I think that should be
Yeah.
reflected so that we can point at the two lines. Because that has a very unique, need. Like,
Yes.
just looking at this, like Dane said, from kind of honesty. To honestly be able to point people in an easy direction for them to understand it. So,
I'm moving it just the 200,000 then,
yeah,
okay,
And that's the 200,000 on
Yeah,
the column, the first line, the.
yeah, motors, pumps, solid and.
Okay, so that moves down the system.
Which would make it to 945.
Okay.
Do we have consensus on that?
Although I do think there's a notion.
Yeah.
Supposed to happen.
So can I clarify something? So if we're to move that 200,000 and then we have 9.5 in the system improvements. So in the case where you have all these emergency repairs that will come up, would those come out of that? Or where would that be pulled out?
they would have to,
that's where they got.
yeah.
But a broken pipe isn't need a repair, that's a system.
And we don't wanna, mess with our chances of getting grants.
No, but we need that, especially
No,
that.
we understand.
Mhm.
And again, as Justin mentioned, that's gonna be here in the minutes and we can point from people to that as well.
Can we put a match on that line?
Yeah.
Grant match.
Yep.
That way, it's.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Thank you.
Is the next line down, the 150,000, is that a match as well?
Mhm. It's an in and out, it's not a match,
That's
it's
not-
actually one that
That's a
we
grant.
get, yeah, that's a full grant.
Perfect. Hey, any other conversation on the capital outlay? Did we have consensus from you as well?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm just impressed with the way Justin took that. So they could nail it down where everyone's, here it is, I'm still gonna be.
All right, page 14.
This one has got your SBC fund and the CDBG grant revenues. So our big water transmission grant, the SBC is basically, sorry, I skipped over it. It's where we're sitting right now and what we're expecting to get in, so it's slowly growing.
That will grow a little bit more as you get SDCP, we'll have another work session from Comsor. On SDCPs, where it's like a 90-day process to fix those.
Yeah.
Right now, your SDCPs are very, very low compared to surrounding areas, so we're gonna look at raising those, but we just have to do that over like a 90-day process, so once we increase those, then. You'll see more revenue from there.
Do we have a rough date when we'll probably want such around with SBCPs?
I think it's after July.
We already got the work.
Do we already have the work session? We just need to move it to the adoption.
Right. I remember having the discussion on.
Yeah, my apologies.
All right, and down below is the CDBG / grant fund. It's easier to keep these big grants in one fund of their own, so you'll see the new $4 million one added. And then you'll see what we're thinking, or what we have left of the water transmission line, and what we're gonna spend out.
Is the loan accounted for in here anywhere?
This is strictly just the grant. We didn't put the loan in there yet because
That's,
We haven't touched it, haven't done anything with it, so.
hopefully that'll be for phase two next year.
Any questions on page 14? Please. Very good. Okay, anything further
Nope.
on that? All right, that takes us to item 3 of new business. Request to recommend the fiscal year 26-27 municipal budgets to the next council.
A request to recommend the fiscal year 2026-2027 municipal budget to the city council with the amendments.
Second.
Have a move and a second. Any discussion?
I didn't catch this, what will be the date at next week's meeting? Is that what you're saying? I'm misunderstanding.
We're just gonna recommend it to the city council.
I see, okay,
Recommendation to the city
I got you.
council. Next city council meeting?
okay, that's what I was just curious.
No, it's yeah, it's the second meeting you guys have.
And we don't have to have a date, just that we're here.
Okay.
Right.
I'm sorry, I
No, you're good.
didn't know when we're doing it, so I was
Take
like,
place in June.
in June, okay.
June 15th.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hey. That was by the budget committee seating.
Jeremy, I appreciate all the hard work. The information, Sean, same, thank you. Sean.
All right, with that, if there's nothing further, which I don't think there is, we're adjourned.
You know,
Nice.
Sean, give an effort.
yeah.
Thank you all. There's a lot of virtues. It's just.
There is.
We realized that would go.
No. No.
Next year, you. Well, good, then you're out of break.
No, thank you anyway.
They for you, but we're not everywhere.
That means no.
Oh, yeah.
Joe, you gonna go to California?
No.
And Joe said you had her.
Yeah. Oh,
That's